Hi, this is Mr. Buffington, and I'm here in my grandpa's workshop, and I'm going to be doing some cutting, and I thought there would be a perfect opportunity to show something about measurements. So first of all, I have my wood all set out here, and here's some of the wood that I'm going to be using, and I need to make a cut at exactly 16 inches. So what I do, if I'm trying to make a 16-inch cut, it's exactly at 16 inches, and that's the big number, so that's not that bad. Set my tape measure at the end, and I'll go up to 16 and make a mark, and that's exactly where I'll cut. Usually I like to make a mark both on this side and on this bottom side here, so that I know that I'm making a nice 16-inch cut. Now I have another piece of wood underneath, this piece of plywood, and that one is going to be a little bit more complicated, but it's going to use the same principles of measurement, and I have to make that cut at exactly 37, I have my list here, I have to make that cut at, right here, 37 and 5/16. So again, I set my tape measure right at the edge, make it nice and square. I'll start at the corner, and I'll go all the way along here on my tape measure until I get to 37. Now, this is when it gets a little bit complicated. I have to do 37 and 5/16. Well, the marks that we have here, where are we? Right here. This is 37. Each of these small markings is 1/16. Each of the slightly larger ones are an eighth. And then this is 1/4 right here. And then this was a half. You can see that that's clearly halfway between 37 and 38. So that's 1/2. So if we're going 5/16, we could either count 5 little guys like this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or we can say 4/16, 4 out of 16, is equivalent to 1/4. So we can go up to 1/4, which is right here. That's 4/16, plus 1 will give us the 5/16. See? So that's the way that we can measure using our measuring tape and knowing quarters and inches, and it's kind of tough to get this while operating in a video camera. Alright, and to make sure I get a nice square cut straight across this piece of plywood, I'm going to mark it on this end as well, right at 37 and 1/4 plus 1/16. Alright, that'll give me 5/16. So 1/4 plus 1 right there. And these are for shelves, so they can be pretty approximate. So I have my earplugs in, I've got my safety goggles, and my work is safely clamped on there. So now I'm ready to go ahead and get started in making my cuts. So as I return to my list here, I've cut a couple of my pieces, some of my 2x2s, and I can check to see their length. When they go down to here, they are 16 inches long, or about 16 inches. That's close enough for what we're doing. And I have 2 of them at that length, so that's this part cut off. And the next part, I have a 2x2 that's less than 33.5 inches. I just need one of those. So I have my slightly longer piece here. I just want to keep measuring it and make sure that it's less than 33.5 inches. And this one, it's a little over 29 inches. 29 and 3/16. So that's good. We're in good shape. That's definitely less than 33.5. Alright, all my pieces are cut now, and I'm ready to go back home and assemble the shelves. I just wanted to make one small observation while I'm here in this workshop. And over the summer, one summer while I first started teaching, I started working with a contractor building a house, and we were measuring out the footers and making sure everything was perfectly square, and then we measured all of the pieces and made sure that all of our studs were 16-inch on center. And when we calculated the amount of concrete we had poured, we had to know the area, and we had to do a lot of measurements and calculations, and sometimes there were tools for it, and sometimes my friend the contractor and I would be writing with our pens, or take our pencil and a piece of paper and try and figure out what we needed to order for the number of parts. So I've just noticed that a lot of the time the things that you're going to be learning in these courses are things that whatever field you go into, I'm pretty sure you're going to be seeing them. So instead of asking sometimes, when am I ever going to use this, or I don't think I'm ever going to use it, instead if you look around you and try and find areas that you use math, I think that you'll find that the information you're learning in these courses are really, really helpful. So keep your eyes open for finding ways to use this math. Have a great week, and I will see you in next week's announcements.